Let's walk and talk.
Walk and talk.
How you doing, guys? Victor Tay here, and I'm here with Garth,
Hey, Victor.
otherwise known as Thor.
Feel my thunder.
Oh,
Represent.
man. That's great to have you. I actually have something for you, Thor. I thought I'd give it to you on live stream. Ambassador of the movement. I thought I'd get you one of these. Put it on.
Look at this. Thanks.
Do you want me to hold your sign? Oh, you got it.
That's alright, I'll figure this out. Champion.
I made him a headband.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. What a
There you
legend.
go.
Thanks, my man. Represent, I will wear out with pride.
I don't really know much about you. Want to tell the people about yourself, Garth? I don't know.
I don't know, it's been a...
Where are you from? What do you do? Like, what made you want to come out and exercise here?
Well, I mean, I've been wanting... I saw your movement at the start and, you know, love what you do. Love putting the word out, you know. And then I saw Renee get thrown in the back of the paddy wagon and that was it. I was on the phone that night, sending that, you know, around the world to all my Facebook groups.
So for you, it was really like Renee was like the last straw. You just like so disgusted by what happened.
That got my blood boiling, you know.
Tell me what was going through your mind when you sort of were watching that video.
Well, I mean, just how dared the police just single an Australian mother out and do that to someone, you know? Like, I couldn't really see the difference between her or anyone else walking down the street. She was there with her son and they just confronted her. And it really just came down to the fact that she refused to give her name, which was perfectly under her right as far as I'm concerned. She wasn't breaking a law.
That is the thing. Hey, like that's all it came down to. It's just that she just that inspector. Let's turn around. That inspector. It seemed like she just wanted to make it a point that she could get her name and details.
Well,
and if she didn't, then she could be arrested. But how stupid is that?
Right.
You get arrested for not giving your name.
Well, that's right.
And you're no threat to society at all. You're just going for a walk with your son. And it's crazy.
She's just here, like everybody else was here. Like normal people are walking down the road now, and didn't want to give her name. You know, obviously felt threatened by the police. Was there with her son. You know, her maternal instincts kicked in, and they had to make a scene out of it. You know. And then they try to drag her through the media. And, you know, I just saw on social media the other day, because I sure as hell don't watch the news, but, you know, the reporters were hounding her and she ran over a reporter's ankle. Well, I don't know about you, but I've never had my ankle run over by somebody. I'm pretty sure that reporter would have been in somebody's way, you know, as she's peacefully driving down the road, being terrorised by the media. So... think about that there, lady with the microphone.
Yeah.
Next time someone's driving down the road, how about you get out of the road?
And it's funny that it's sort of like the way... I mean, if you don't know how police operate, because I know like the people, like my friends who were sort of interrogated a couple of weeks before. I mean, when a cop comes up to you and asks you like for your name and your address, if you don't know what they're going to do with those details, you might think, what, are they going to come find me? Are they going to come harass me?
Exactly.
Like now they know where I live. Like what are they going to do with those details? And I think that, so there is reasonable cause for people to be a bit hesitant.
Exactly,
about
especially
why
when
they want to give their details
heavy.
to somebody they don't even know. They don't know what that cop's going to do
Exactly.
with that.
I mean, no doubt she thought she was going to get fined or made some sort of example. I mean, they need to get your name before they can issue you with a fine, you know. Basically, they're initiating a service to you. You know, they're supposed to be there working for us, and they need that name to present you with a ticket. So she was just standing up for her rights. That's a private piece of information.
Let me just fix this, man. This is bugging me.
Hey, you don't represent.
Sorry,
I'm gonna wear it, crook it.
Yeah, that's it. Wear it with pride. So, so what about you guys? Have you been personally affected by the I mean, can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Have you been personally affected by the lockdown? Like, what,
Well, look.
in terms of, has it affected you?
Well, for me, this has been a pretty crazy start to the year. I'm from down the south coast, so I was affected by the bushfires down there. I've been up in Sydney, you know, since then, hanging with family around here. So, you know, I mean, look, for me, you know, I've been a good citizen, and I've, you know, been hanging with family around Avalon a little bit. It's pretty tough after the
Just be careful,
bushfires.
don't incriminate yourself on this video. See,
hey.
Garth has the same problem I do. We talk too much and eventually we get ourselves in trouble.
I know. I'm just too much. I wear my heart on the sleeve. Anyway, so look, you know, I mean, look, the money is all just numbers on a screen anyway, and they're using this whole exercise to destroy the global economy, lock everybody up, destroy local businesses. They want to roll out massive corporations. You know, Jeff Bezos, he's doing all right, you know, Amazon. And then you can drive up and down the road and so many police signs are on all these small businesses everywhere. You know, they're all closing down. So, you know.
Yeah, that's why you wonder why do all the big corporations and pharma companies get on board with the stay home, save lives message, because obviously it works for them.
Well,
I mean,
right.
It works for huge businesses. They can work from home. People work from home, and they, you know, obviously people are making all the mask gear and the sanitizer gear and whatnot, selling all that.
Yep.
So you just got to think sometimes corporations just act in their best interest, right? And whether they get on board with the message or not, it can be because they can profit from it.
Yeah, well, that's right, you know, and I think coming out of this, if we really need to stand up as a country or as a global community, you know, we really need to start being very aware to start supporting small businesses again, you know, get out there, start, you know, don't go to Woolworths if you can, go to a local Whole Foods store or, you know, get out, just, you know, if you're in the country, go to the farmers markets, you know, try to support the small guys as much as we can, you know, because otherwise the general plan seems to be to start getting rid of those, you know, privately owned businesses and put it all to the big Amazons of the world, and you know that's just going to lead to us losing our rights. So get out there, support your local small business.
Do you know anybody that's been affected by it, like that's lost their business or personally, or?
I can't say as I do personally. Like I've been up here, you know, just sort of laying pretty low, hanging with family and stuff. So,
What about on the south coast?
well, on the south coast, I know lots of people. Well, because of the bushfires down there, you know, I mean,
They were already doing it tough.
Well, that's
and then
right, man,
now-
like-
now you shut their business down.
well, we
it's
had the
even worse.
fires, so that lost all the Christmas trade, and then you know, since then they were all hoping to get the Easter trade come through, and now all the lockdowns going on. So that's their tourist-run towns. A lot of those, like Tilba.
Right.
That's
You're
just
not
a little
allowed to
tourist
travel.
town. So nobody's coming there. All the shops just had to close.
Right.
You know, they should be getting all the tourists. It's not really like a locals in the area would be going to places like that. So yeah, with the lockdowns, they're just not making any money. And there's people who have lost their places from the bushfires around then as well. So, you know, all these bushfire grants that were supposed to be put to those people, they haven't been going there. So there's still people living in tents and caravans. And yeah, I mean, they haven't got any support.
Wow, it looks like more people are rocking up now. All right, cheers, guys. Well, thanks for your thoughts. Maybe
Champion Victor will be here next weekend again.
Oh, you know, did you hear about the big one on next
Yeah, I
weekend?
know.
Oh,
I
you didn't know
I
about
was
it?
trying to nudge it, say, look, what's going on with the 12 till 2 thing? We should have moved that from 2
Well,
till 4. We're already, you know, Victor.
I'm already out here. But I think because they had already advertised 12 to 2.
Yeah.
But you know they have a permit for that Sydney one. So
I know.
now it's all legit now. It's all going ahead.
So what's your plan? Are we planning on pushing the general?
Well, I think I'll still be here from 2 to 4, but I'll come out a bit earlier.
Yeah,
and,
all right,
and
cool.
join everyone, because even though it starts at 12, I have a feeling, like most things, people come late.
Yep. Well,
So,
there's no
I
harm
think
getting a bit more exercise that day, is there? So,
That's
you
exactly
know,
it.
Do
So-
a few more laps.
Get a bit more steps in. All right, Garth, I'll let you go.
Cool, mate. I'll see you next week.
Yeah. How you doing, guys? Or maybe I'll go and find some other people to talk to. Is there somebody in particular that you've seen here and you think, hey, go find that guy or go find that girl and go talk to them? Let me know and I'll try and find them. Let's see who else there is here. Hello.
Pangolin power.
see if I can find somebody.
If there'll be against forced vaccinations at outside Archibald Fountain.
Yes.
We can come here. You can put that on your website.
Yeah, I've been telling everybody about it. Absolutely, yep. How you doing, guys? You guys want to say hello to the live stream? Are you guys much of a live stream? But you want to walk and talk? We can walk and talk.
All right. Hey guys, how's
What
it
does
going?
your sign say? Quarantine the sick, free the health. Ah, that's
Yeah.
where did you get that idea from?
I'm pretty healthy.
I gotta trademark that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. What do we got here? What do you got? The media is the virus.
Media is the
Oh.
virus. Yeah.
What do you guys want to say something to the? You
When
want to say
they-
something to the?
When they build
online?
a social understanding based on lies, the media is definitely the virus. It's a virus for everyone's brains, really. Everyone's getting brainwashed.
I know, it is a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. But
So what is it about the
yeah, it is
lockdown?
everyone's brains.
Thinking about it.
That's right. What do I think about lockdown?
What I guess what upsets you the most about the lockdown? What do you?
Well, we've never seen this in all of history where people are being forced to close down their businesses, which is their livelihood. You know, it's them putting a major effect on mental health and mental illness, unfortunately, as a
Yeah,
result
the
of these
negative effects of
lockdowns.
it,
And,
absolutely.
you know, people, we need nature, we need movement, and we need social interactions to maintain general health. And they're taking that away. I don't like it.
Do you know anyone that like personally that's lost their job or lost their business? And
I know universities, unfortunately, they've had major cuts, but that's a whole different conversations. In terms of actually the illness itself, no, I don't know anyone, not one single person.
oh, you mean you don't know actually one single person that's caught COVID?
Yeah.
But in terms of somebody, do you know anybody that's like affected by the lockdowns? Like in terms of they've lost their job or their business has been adversely affected? Like how is it?
Of
How has it
course,
affected
yeah.
you personally?
Yeah.
Has it?
Well, it hasn't affected me that much. I consciously didn't let that happen. My job is okay, so I'm very grateful for that at the moment. But yeah, I have seen people affected, and it's quite sad that they're losing their livelihoods.
Right,
It's not
we should
good.
turn around.
Yeah, we got
Looks
a
like
bit of
there's a
blockage
little bit of a bottleneck behind us of people.
here. Yeah. But I'm just here to be a person so that they know that I'm a woman. I'm a woman with rights and freedoms, and I'm going to exercise those while I still can to show that, you know, there is going to be a resistance to any further, you know, draconian laws that may be introduced with wave and phase 2 that everyone keeps talking about. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
What comes out of this? All right, well, thanks for your time.
No worries.
Maybe I'll go over to this lady over here.
Have a great day.
Do you want to?
Great to see you here.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what everyone's doing here, but I don't know. Do you want to introduce yourself and say a thing? I know it's a bit on the spot, but I guess that's the nature of live stream, isn't it?
Yeah. I
So
just
go,
think
go,
that
go.
everyone has the right to be able to go outside, get some fresh air, get some exercise. Also work if they want to. If they're scared and if they're afraid and they want to stay home, it's their right to do that, but I don't think everyone should have to do that.
Yeah.
And also, what comes out of your TV might not always be the truth.
Yeah,
There's plenty of other
what your
doctors.
sign is saying, right?
Plenty other doctors that have different opinions, and it's not as bad as it's made out to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it is easing up now, and I was saying to Meryl this morning that, you know, I think they have to ease it slowly because they don't want to admit that what they did was just completely, you know, unscientific and unbacked.
Yeah.
And if they just, you know, if they just pulled the plug, it'll make them look silly.
Yeah.
You know?
At the end of the day, the flu kills 10 times more people every single year, and we never go into lockdown. We never need an app. We never wear a mask. We don't need sanitizer to walk into a shop. And if that doesn't make people ask questions about what's really going on, I'm not sure what will.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like it's like people are saying, oh, you should do all this and you should be scared here, and it's, well, why weren't we scared last year when 3,000 people died of the seasonal flu?
Exactly.
Why weren't we taking all the same measures? No,
Yeah.
it's a good point. All right, I'm going to see who else wants to chat with me.
Right, yeah.
Okay, thanks guys.
Bye.
See you later. Let's see. See if I can find somebody else. I'm missing a lot of the comments. You guys want to be on the live stream? Is that all right? Can I talk to you? It's live. It's on Facebook. We'll keep walking and talking.
Okay.
And do you want to introduce yourself? I don't know if you want to say hello. You don't have to give your name.
Oh, hi there, John.
Oh, this is John. All right, so what signs have I got here? Let's see here. We got John, Rowena. COVID-19 is a scam. Exercising my rights, liberty now. What's that one?
Hello, I'm
Government
Phil.
is the pandemic. This is Phil.
Yeah, government's the pandemic. That's pretty clear.
Okay, so why don't you explain to everyone what you mean by your sign?
Oh well, I think the whole thing, this whole operation is a hoax. It's totally hoax, and there's an agenda going on to introduce a global fascist police state,
Okay.
and this is part of it.
When you say
they're getting people used to being told what they can do and what they can't do. Well, the government are telling me I can do this and I can't do that. Well, people have forgotten that we're the masters and the government is the servant, and that's the way the system's been set up to make us think that. That's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, you're right. Like the government is meant to be there to defend our liberties.
that's
They're
what-
not meant to be there to tell us how to live our lives, right?
That's right.
You want to keep going? Oh,
Yeah, I'll
Just
come.
keep walking with
So
you.
yeah, I mean, look, it
Just
says
standing around.
in the Australian Constitution, which is the act to constitute the Commonwealth of Australia. Now, what do they call the Australian government these days? They call it. You have a look at all the letterheads. It's the Australian government. So they've moved away from being a constitutional monarchy and become a corporation, which is registered in Washington. And
Oh,
this
interesting.
has gone on right around the world. So countries are
So how do you think? What are your thoughts? What do you think this whole pandemic plays into that? Is this just something else that you're saying?
No, there's a number of agendas. They want to.
Right.
They want to remove. They want to have a cashless society. So every financial transaction that you do
I guess going to be traced, right?
can be traced, can be recorded. They want to know who you're doing business with, how much was transacted, all this sort of stuff. Nothing.
So when you say the pandemics is because you were saying it's a hoax,
It's a
right?
hoax, yeah.
So are you under the like I guess the belief that like coronavirus doesn't exist? It's just something that's made up, or do you think it exists? It's just not as dangerous as people say.
I think it's just like a seasonal flu. I don't think.
Right. So it's just like another common cold that they've played up.
Well, look,
to the
you can
point
have a
where-
look. Go to the CDC website. Anyone can do this for themselves. Go to the CDC website in America. That's the Center for Disease Control. They're the ones who kind of, at least from an American perspective, who've been pushing this whole scam. Have a look at the total deaths for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
and you'll find that the total deaths for the first 4 months, which is the flu season in America, basically they haven't changed for the last 5 years. The same this year as they were. In fact, I think it was a little bit higher in 2018 than it is this year.
Flu deaths, was it?
No. Total deaths.
Total deaths.
Total
right.
deaths. It's about 900,000 people for 4 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at it on a week-by-week basis, right? And anyway, the point is, flu and pneumonia numbers have skyrocketed,
Yeah.
but total deaths haven't changed, right?
Right.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah,
If there was a pandemic,
there
the
should
total
be
deaths,
there should be additional. What are you saying? Yeah, there should be additional deaths. What would you?
yeah, the total deaths should be massive.
The total number
Yeah.
of deaths should be rising, but
Yeah,
if it's
exactly.
just shifting from categorizing one type of death to something else,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
obviously it hasn't actually changed anything.
They've relabeled all these deaths in order
Right.
to create the perception of a pandemic. And when you hear these so-called health officials talking about deaths,
Yeah.
they talk about people dying with COVID-19, not from COVID-19.
Yeah.
So
it's,
they're
it's a
dying
lot
from,
harder to prove that it was the main cause. Eh?
Yeah, well, you got people dying from liver cancer and lung disease and heart attacks and whatever, and they're being labelled because they do a test on their genetic material, and they find that they can find COVID-19, right? So, they must have died with COVID-19, but not from COVID-19.
And I always wonder as well whether is the COVID-19 virus something that just always exists there anyway? You know what I mean? Because there are some viruses in your body that are just always there in small amounts. It's only when they get big enough and the
Yeah,
symptoms
it's called
actually come
viral
out.
load.
Yeah. So
And you know,
yeah, I
yes,
just
it's sitting
wonder.
there. We've got, according to what I've read, I mean, we're all getting a bit of education about virology and immunology and so on
I
right at the
know.
moment. You know, I was never particularly interested in it, but you have to be now if you want to be informed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. Nobody really took notice of all the epidemiologists and biologists before now.
Did they?
Yeah.
So we're getting an education, but the what I'm understanding is that we all have hundreds of thousands of viruses in us right now. We all have that. That's
Yeah.
part of our genetic makeup. It's part of what makes us healthy. You know, it's building up that. And you know, I don't know whether you've seen. I recommend to anybody that go and check out Professor Dolores Cahill. Well,
Oh, she's a new
Cahill.
one. Hey, I
She's a
think
new
like
one.
when I was looking
Yeah.
at all the experts, like I know Johnny Unitas,
Yeah.
Kanu Witkowski, so Dolores Cahill.
Cahill, yeah.
So,
She's a PhD.
so tell us a bit about her. What makes her so special?
Well, she is an immunologist and a you know, I can't remember her. She's got a bunch of qualifications which are as long as your arm. It's unbelievable. She's she's Irish, and you know, you can just go look her up. But anyway,
So that's Dolores Cahill.
Dolores Cahill.
I know she's been speaking at a few rallies and
as
whatnot,
in the Cahill or Cahill Expressway. You know that.
yeah,
spelling,
same name.
Right? No, she goes right into the facts. I'm not going to try to reproduce them, but you know, she talks a lot about building up the herd immunity and how long it takes for a virus to go right around the world. You know, like it's.
Right.
I think she's talking about in terms of 3 weeks. You know, like it takes to go right around the world. And she says, look, the social distancing thing and locking people up is actually only hindering the process of building up the herd immunity.
Yeah, I know that's what Dr. Kanu Witkowski says too. Like,
Right.
you need to let something like this spread through the healthy population
Yeah,
to actually
yeah.
build up sufficient herd immunity to actually protect the ones you're trying to protect.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you lock everyone away, I mean, that's just delaying the problem. And if there's no herd immunity, when the older people come out,
Yeah.
they're going to be just as much danger as they were before.
Yeah, but you know the thing is, you know, if you're doing a bit of research in it, you'll find that this whole thing being a scam. Who's behind it? Well, the World Health Organization are behind it. The CDC, Dr. Fauci, etc. They're all behind it. And you know, so Bill Gates is on record. You know, his family have been involved in the eugenics movement in America. That's, you know, thinning down the people who are not of what they consider to be suitable standard of genetics.
Yeah, okay.
You know, they're wanting to. I mean, Bill Gates is wanting to.
So you mean to say that Bill Gates is not just trying to save people and has good intentions? Is that what you're saying?
He actually wants to. They want to. You know, he and his associates want to reduce the world population significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny that I find it funny as well. I might leave it there. It was
Yeah.
John, was it?
Phil,
Phil. No, thanks for your time, Phil.
thank you.
Yeah,
Good on
I'll let you
Victor.
keep
Yeah,
exercising.
all right. Ciao.
Yeah, I find it really funny. I hope you guys like the fact that I thought this week I'll go and talk to some people and ask them about their science. Because I'm running out of things to talk about unless you guys have questions for me. But isn't it funny that I always find it funny that Bill Gates, like, he's not a doctor or anything. I mean, he's a software engineer, and a dodgy one at that. You know, maybe about how he goes about his business. Why has he become like the spokesperson on vaccine? I think why is everybody listening to Bill Gates on what to do about vaccines and how to go about it? That's just the weirdest thing ever. And I find it really funny, those memes as well, where it's like, you know, when it comes to his computer system, he sells, you know, a virus and then an antivirus, and who knows if he's got the same agenda and same tactics as he does with the COVID, all the COVID stuff.
The laws on the books regarding
So it's still the same two constables over there that are watching us. There was an inspector that was there before, I think. I think that's the rank that has the different hat. But they've gone now. So I think we're all good. I'm going to see if I can find some other people that might want to have a chat. And see who else is here.
you know, it's like it's like it's cyclic. Oh, we need another one.
Maybe I should go speak to somebody that is like anti 5G and ask them a bit about that. I don't really know much about 5G, so I know there's a lady here that has like a no 5G sign. Maybe I'll go talk to her. Hello. Do you want to be on the live stream? Do you want to walk and talk with me? No, not really. There's a martial artist against martial law. Can I ask you though? I won't put you on the live stream. I'll turn it around for me. But because I know, I would say that a lot of the martial art gyms probably got really affected by the lockdowns. Because I know my kids do jiu-jitsu, and obviously it's a high contact exercise as well. So you must know a lot of people that are struggling to get their businesses back open and can't, right? When it comes to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I won't make you talk. Yeah. This guy I'm talking to, he's a little bit shy, so I won't make you talk on the live stream. But thanks a lot. I'm gonna go find that lady. There is a lady here that's got a 5G. There we go. Let's see who they are. Let's see if they'll talk to me. Hello. Can I talk with you guys, or I'm interested to learn a bit about 5G. I don't really know much about 5G, but I see that you've got the no 5G on there. There you go.
What would you like to know?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. So is that the reason why you're out here today, exercising? You want to tell people about?
Mainly yes, but yes.
Honestly, Mark,
5G.
it's brilliant because
This is from what I know. 4G, not 5G, but 4G is a known carcinogen, according to the World Health Organization, which I obviously don't affiliate with, but according to the World Health Organization,
and the NCP, the National Toxicity
it's
Program,
a known carcinogen.
and IARC as well.
So you guys,
and
so
many
you
more.
think not only 5G is bad for you, but 4G is also
4G,
bad.
4G is
5G.
bad, and it's been proven that it's carcinogenic.
But you guys
5G
have mobile phones, right? Like,
Well,
is it something?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Oh, so you don't actually. So how do people contact
I've
you?
gone back to the landline, mate.
Oh,
back to the
landline.
landline.
So right now, like nobody can contact you.
No contact whatsoever.
Oh, I had a friend that was like that, and it was like so hard to just get in contact
The
with him
deal is
because.
though, with 5G, it's a millimeter wave, so it actually needs 4G plus to work.
Right.
The 4G towers now are kilometres apart, but with 5G, they're going to have
Do you
to
wanna
be
turn around?
erected. They're going to have to be erected every 150 to 250 metres to work, which means we're going to get walking out of your own house or work. You're going to get radiated by 4G plus as well as 5G together.
So is your concern? So you have a mobile phone.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I've got a mobile phone.
Yeah,
yes.
mobile
So
phones.
Is it the mobile? Is it when it comes to the concern with wireless tech? Is it the device that is the concern or the tower?
No, what we're saying is
the tower, because you have a choice whether you use a mobile phone or not,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the choice of whether you want internet in your home or not, or your work. But when you do not have a choice when your towers are in your street and you walk out, because whether you have a phone or not, you'll still get radiated. Each pole will have a sign of radiation.
there you go. There's one up there, right there.
Where?
See that there, right there. See that there?
What's that one? That one up there?
Potential to kill you.
That's a 4. Is that a 4G?
That's 5G.
Oh, that's a 5G one.
That's a 5G.
Have they already
mini
started
cell.
putting them up?
Mini transmitter. Yeah, they're everywhere in the city. Once they flick
so
that
this-
switch and we go into millimeter waves.
Oh, so
that's
you're
when
saying
that's when
they've
the problem's
installed?
gonna really start
So
kicking
they've
in.
installed that, but they haven't turned it on yet. Is that what you're saying?
That could be working right now, but it won't be working. It won't be giving millimeter waves at the moment. It might be working at
won't be
5
working.
gigahertz.
Yeah.
So I
3.5
understand that
gigahertz.
people have a choice whether or not to have a mobile phone.
Right.
But
Listen.
like, let's say so I guess the people that are against 5G, are they also like don't like the 4G towers? Because the 4G towers would be the same,
All right,
right?
what you
Because
got to
that-
understand is,
they're
yeah,
kilometres apart
Yeah.
as well. So
What-
usually,
So
people
the
that know,
threat is not
they
as
make
bad,
Sure they
that's
don't
it.
buy their homes around the 4G towers, but now because they're going to have to be erected every 150 to 250 metres. You even stepping out of your own home that you don't even own, well, you'll get radiated. And it's not just about radiation; it's about surveillance.
So 5G is also about. So wait, let me understand this. So the reason why there wasn't much of a fuss, was there much of a fuss around 4G in the anti-5G circle?
Not aware.
Was there much fuss about 4G?
Yeah.
So and is the reason because 4G, the towers are further apart, so the threat of the radiation is
what
not
I'm
as
trying
high?
to say,
Is that
this is
what
the
you're saying?
biggest problem. The biggest problem is millimeter waves. You understand? Millimeter waves, and that comes with
that's
5G.
5G, not
Yes,
4G.
4G is not millimeter waves.
Oh, okay,
When you
so
start
then-
entering into millimeter waves, it's very penetrating
worse,
to the
is
body.
it?
Very,
Right.
very penetrating to the body. It's been proven before. Scientific evidence backs that up. It penetrates your bone marrow, your DNA. It can stop women. It can affect their baby in their stomach. Their fertility has been proven with 4G that that affects fertility. But the 5G concern is the millimeter waves. The millimeter waves and
does the does the 5G crowd? I don't know. What is there a name for the people that are against 5G? Is there a label that they take on?
Yeah, humans that give a fuck.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So, I guess when it comes to 5G, I forgot my question now. What was my question? she threw me off with that one.
Surveillance.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Can I
ask.
stop you right there?
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
just tell you something.
Sure.
5G is not
You're gonna tell everybody though, so just keep that in mind.
5G is not really about the mobile phone.
It's not.
That's what they're trying to tell you. Faster speeds for your mobile and all that stuff.
Oh, of course.
5G
If they're gonna sell it, you want to.
That's right. 5G is
so
very.
if they
very
want to
minimal
sell it, obviously they're going to
with the
sell it
mobile
on the
phone.
convenience and the speed. And
Well, it's not.
everything
What,
like
what they're
right?
using it for is drones, driverless cars, robots, artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
wireless technology. These things, and they're going to put us all out of jobs.
So you think the risk is twofold? Like one is the risk of the radiation, the additional radiation, the microwaves, the mini waves you're saying?
Well,
Mini waves?
here's the thing. You tell me. Your phone's fast enough at the moment, isn't it? Right? Well, you're recording us now. No problem, right?
I suppose, yeah.
That's right. So why do you need 5G? Why do you need it? See, the government's trying to convince you that you need it. You don't need 5G to have a mobile phone. That can run on 2G.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess
That's right.
whether people want a faster internet connection or not, I mean, is entirely up to them, right? I mean,
my internet at home is lightning quick. It's wired internet. It's as fast as you can get. I wouldn't want it any faster. Why do I want a little mini cell on the street pole out the front of my house beaming 60 gigahertz in through the window, affecting my little baby who's just been born?
Right.
Like, that'd just be stupid, wouldn't it?
Well, I can understand if somebody has concerns about 5G, it's more the health concern. But whether people want a faster internet connection or not is really it's an issue of liberty, right? It's kind of like now, like somebody might, like you may be happy with the lowest speed broadband, and you may not want to upgrade to the NBN, but somebody else has other things that they might want to do that needs faster, or they just simply want things to go snappier. That's more of a personal choice, I suppose.
How much snappier do you want it? Do you want it snappier at the cost of risking your health?
Yeah,
that's what
so
you
I
gotta
guess it
ask
would be
yourself,
a risk versus benefits, right?
Correct.
So
correct.
let me ask you, because I haven't really looked into it deeply myself, but I guess with the people who are against 5G, are they making the claim that it's it's proven that the radiation is something to be concerned about? Because obviously we live in a wireless world. There's already so much radiation.
So
is there actually?
I'll tell you. Basically, I only look at scientific evidence.
Yeah.
I only look at science, the science behind it, and scientific evidence and published literature. That's all I look at, because there's so much garbage on media. There's so much crap. The media brainwashing everyone, telling everyone it's safe. All the studies that have been done to proven that it's bad.
Yeah.
Where do I start? IARC, NTP. ORSA, you can jump onto any of these sites, you'll see it. The studies that have been done, the scientists, the thousands of scientists around the world signing petitions to halt the rollout because they know of the health concerns. These aren't just any scientists.
Okay.
These are scientists in the field of radiation. So if they're saying to me that it's not good, who am I going to believe? Am I going to believe the media? Am I going to believe some lady that has no idea what she's talking about? Or am I going to believe a science behind it and a scientist telling me that it's bad?
Right. So
he doesn't work for the telcos. He's an independent scientist who's done studies, and he's saying this will affect your body.
Right, so you think it's twofold. So you believe there is science out there that shows 5G is harmful.
Plenty of
radiation.
science. I've read thousands and thousands of documents.
I guess the other thing you're concerned about is the surveillance, the fact that it'll enable a surveillance state because of the speed of internet.
The surveillance state, and there'll be no jobs for anyone. All the driverless cars. Forget about Uber. Forget about taxis, Uber, truck drivers. You know, the list
Oh,
goes
but
on.
I think that labour will go to other areas. It's kind of like now that we have computers, you know, obviously the typewriter business went out of business, but it's benefited everybody.
Listen.
So I don't think we necessarily have to worry about conveniences making our lives more effective and productive.
Well, every time,
obviously that's going to make
every time
people-
we do that with technology, we lose jobs. It's the same process over and over again.
they'll
You can
get
see that with everything.
But that'll get reallocated. You know, that labour will get
What are
reallocated.
you going to do? You're an
something else.
electrician now. You got to go, you know, become an IT guy because you don't have a job anymore. Or, you know,
Well, you'll be
you're working at Woolworths and you don't have a job anymore because
no, you'll be installing 5G
You understand?
towers. What are you talking about?
well, yeah, that's if I'm not dead by then.
That's
That's if I'm not dead by then. Yeah.
No, fair enough. Okay, yeah, that gives me a bit more information. All right, you guys want to say anything else to them before I move on?
What else? Yeah, just that your every move will be traced. That will be with your
So
smart.
that's your main
with
concern
smart
with
meter.
5G?
No, it's not just
Oh,
my
no,
main
that's
concern.
something else,
But
yeah.
actually, they want to. With the whole bigger. Well, I feel that the whole bigger agenda is to depopulate the world, and this is just another aspect of their big plan because there's lots of things that
Oh, so you think it's like a
have
lot
already
of
been
cogs in the one plan?
Yeah,
one
there's
big
already
plan.
been lots of other things that have been implemented that help to get that executed. Yeah,
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for your time, guys.
that's right.
I'll see who else
Actually,
wants to chat with the live stream. Sorry?
Your son's worried about your mum where she is because she hasn't come back yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe she's taking something to the bathroom. I'll go find
Yeah,
him.
she did, but she
Thanks a lot.
she'll be back by
So what's happened, Simon? You don't know where Mummy is?
Yeah. Not really allowed. She went that
Hello.
way to take the children to the bathroom, but she isn't.
Okay. Well, you stick with Daddy then, and then just maybe Mummy did take somebody to the toilet.
Did take them, but they haven't returned yet.
Okay. Let me go talk to somebody else, guys. Hello. Do you want to follow me, Simon? Can I do a bit of a impromptu interview?
Sure.
I'm on live stream. Do you want to walk in with me? I'm just sort of talking with everyone out here, and they can say a bit about their signs and whatnot. I'm good.
Yeah, good.
Have you exercised on a Saturday previous? This is your first
The
time?
last 3 Saturdays
Oh,
I've been
great.
exercising my rights and feel very good about it. Feel like I've feel like I have a bit of a voice.
Yeah, it is a bit liberating, eh? You're
Oh, it
scared and you
is.
get out here and then you realise it's not so scary and that you actually have freedom to exercise.
Yeah,
So,
we do, don't we?
so what does our sign say? Facts trump fear, and your sign changes every week, I see. So what have you got today? No pandemic, no new virus, it's all smoke and mirrors. So maybe tell the people on live a bit about your thoughts on your sign.
Well, I woke up 6 years ago to 9/11, or part of 9/11. It took me 4 years of further study to wake up to the pivotal truth of 9/11, which is that death and injury were staged. So what the Paraleague do is they cater to both the people who don't question, who don't question the media story, and they also cater to those who do question the media story. They have propaganda for them as well. So for 9/11, they made sure that both the skeptics of their story and the believers of their story all believed in death and injury. That was really, really important. I won't talk about that anymore. But the thing is, we have a similar situation with this event where the big story is the big lie. The very big lie is that there's a virus pandemic. And for the skeptics of the story, the skeptics of the government story, the secondary lie is that there is a virus, but it's been blown out of proportion, and the response is inordinate to the virus, and some of the figures don't add up, and all that kind of thing. So that's the secondary level. But both pandemic and virus out there, to whatever degree, they're both lies. And that is what is really important to recognise.
So when you say lie, do you think it's like completely a hoax, or do you think they've just taken a bit of truth and blown it into something?
It's completely a hoax. And the thing is, the last week I was here, I saw this slogan that I've never seen before anywhere, and it's really, really a great slogan. It says, "Half-truths make great lies."
Oh yeah, I saw the ladies wearing that shirt. That was quite a popular one.
That is a great slogan, and I don't know where it comes from, whether the person, made it up herself, but that's brilliant, because you cannot fight a big lie with another lie.
Yeah, you need to sort of mix some truth into it, right?
No,
It makes it more acceptable, is it?
Yes. Well, the thing is, the truth is there is no virus. There is no evidence of virus. If you look up any scientific paper where allegedly the virus is
So you
isolated.
you think the tests are kind of showing us something that doesn't exist?
Well, the thing is, this is another really strange thing about this thing. Underneath the propaganda, they always give you the truth. And so when you look at the scientific papers, what's clear from the scientific papers is that there is no evidence of the virus ever having been isolated in the first place. And then of course the tests are shown to be completely unreliable. But of course, if you don't have, the virus isolated in the first place, that's the fundamental lie. There's no evidence of the virus actually being isolated. So
Can they actually tell the difference between one COVID?
Well, seemingly not. There's no
another?
evidence of it. There's no evidence. There's no evidence in the scientific papers. You can see quite clearly the fraud. There's one in particular where they say a German traveller, the virus was taken from the German traveller, and then all kinds of things were done to this virus, to inject it into animals and taken back out and all this kind of nonsense. But hang on. What about the virus from the German traveller? How did they isolate that virus? There's no reference in that scientific paper to how the virus was isolated from the German traveller.
So what's your response when you talk? Do you talk to a lot of people about this? And how do they generally respond to you when you talk to people about it?
I have
Do they think you're just crazy?
Well, probably. Well, the thing is, the friends that I associate with at the moment tend to be, on board with me. The other friends, I just kind of think, I'll wait till the thing's over, because I just don't want to talk to friends
Some
who
people aren't
believe
really
it.
ready to talk about this sort of
I
stuff,
just
and
can't
mine's
do
not
that.
really.
But,
Okay.
no, other people think I'm crazy, or, yes.
Do you know, like in terms of the lockdown, and what do you not like? What's the thing you most dislike about the lockdown?
Well, the lockdown actually doesn't impact my life all that much, because I tend to stay home. Yeah, I tend to stay home a lot. And so the lockdown itself doesn't really impact me.
So it doesn't affect your work or at all? Or?
Well, I wasn't working anyway.
Okay.
So I can't say the lockdown really impacts me. Do
you know many people that have been?
I know of a few people whose lives have been seriously impacted. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, I think also there are certain benefits from the lockdown. Like my sister works from home now, and she kind of prefers it, or she'd be happy to work from home more than
It's like people have started to reconnect with their family again.
Yeah. So the thing is, there are going to be, it's an ill wind that blows no good, and there's going to be some advantages to certain people and certain companies. Like hand sanitizing companies are going to do really, really well.
Yeah. There's always somebody doing well, even in times of crisis.
But I mean, even the little people, for some of them it suits them, and I can't say it's impacted my life. I don't object to it in terms of how it's affected my life. I object to it in terms of the fact that it's a big lie, and it means that we're going to be controlled, and whatever benefits there might be, I don't think that they outweigh for the people. They're never going to outweigh the disadvantages. People are losing their jobs, and we're being controlled.
Yeah, the cure is worse than the disease, isn't it?
Yes.
And
especially when there is no disease. But to me,
even more so,
the most important thing is the actual truth that there is no evidence of a new virus. This is called, and it's just like 9/11. They're both exactly the same. It's called a trauma-based mind control psychological operation.
It's funny, somebody just made a comment in here, problem, reaction, solution, Hegelian dialect. And I remember you having a sign like that one week.
Yes, in fact, it's on the other side. It's on the other side.
Oh, it's on one of the sides.
Oh, no, it's not actually. It's on a different sign.
Different side.
Yes, problem, reaction, solution. Exactly that. Yes. And if you look up Michael Lunig's cartoon from 2 Saturdays ago, you'll see that that's what he's saying in his cartoon.
Right.
But not in those words.
Right.
It's called Humans. Look up Michael Leunig, Sydney Morning Herald, and you'll find his latest. He's a great cartoonist to actually look up for this thing, because he gets it. He really gets it. He's one of the people in mainstream media who really gets it. He's about the only one, I think.
Okay,
You know?
well, we'll look at the sign. Somebody's asking the sign on your back. What's on your back? It says the welfare of the people has always been the alibi of tyrants. Oh, I think that's the one that was on the photo that I put up. That was the one maybe you were wearing on the front of you.
Right. Yes, I wore it. Yeah, I had it last
week. Okay, well, it's raining quite heavily now. I think everyone's getting rained out. Nobody wants to be, because there's no trees in front of Parliament House, so not many people are walking here. They're all walking over where the trees are now. But I might have to remake my signs for next week. They're going to be all soaked. But you can't really tell on the camera.
I went
but
uneco-friendly with core flute.
Oh, okay. So core flute is a bit more. It's waterproof,
It's not as eco-friendly, but it's more waterproof.
Mine's
and
foam board.
It's a bit sturdier.
Right.
You've got foam board, and foam board's quite expensive as well. But
is it? This only cost me $5. How much does core
really?
flute?
Oh, you got it for $5.
This is like a cheaper foam board from Kmart. But yours,
okay. Because
yours
the one in office work was mine's not foam board, but yours is actually cardboard, right?
No, not cardboard. It's foam boards. There's like
I think it's
foam
still
in between.
cardboard. Oh.
It's like foam, and then it has like thin paper on either side. So yeah, sharing some different exercise equipment making techniques. Yeah. There's a few other people that are rocked up now as well.
Oh, good.
Hello. Oh, great. I'll have to have a chat with you a bit later. I'm live streaming right now. Okay, thanks for your time.
Okay, my pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your voice.
Patrick, you're not Patrick.
Victor.
I know what your name is, but I always think of you as Patrick for some reason.
Right.
Anyway, thanks, Victor, and thanks for doing this. You're a hero.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'll let you keep exercising.
Okay.
Let's see. See ya. All right, so yeah, a lot of different diverse views here. Hey, it just goes to show, guys. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, why do you talk to people against 5G? Why do you talk to people, that are into certain theories that not everyone agrees with? You don't have to agree. Like, I did an interview with Avi Yemeni. I honestly didn't really know much about him. I think people don't like him because I didn't realize that I think he's been divorced with his ex-wife supposedly, but I don't know the truth behind it. But I read some media reports that he threw a chopping block or something and it hit her in the head, and supposedly he didn't throw it at her, he just threw it, and they were having a domestic fight. It hit her in the head and he pled guilty to it, and a lot of people don't like him for that. Yeah, obviously that's terrible, right? But my point is, you don't have to agree with somebody 100% to stand side by side with them on an issue you do agree with. So I'm completely against the lockdown. I have my reasons for why I'm against it, and they're mainly economic reasons and liberty reasons. But if other people are against it and want it to end just as much as I do, and they have another reason, hey, we can be allies in this cause. We may not be allies in every cause, and that's why I don't mind being interviewed by people that I don't know if Avi Yemeni is a Zionist or not. I'm obviously not a Zionist. Some people are telling me he is. I'm not too sure. But I think we definitely agree on liberty in terms of the government's responsibility and our personal responsibility when it comes to this pandemic. And yeah, I talked to Meryl Dorey. I'm all for freedom, health freedom. I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't, or what I should or shouldn't inject in my body. I guess they can give me advice if they want to, but I should have the freedom to go against that advice if I want to, and take risks where I want to take risks and where I see benefits. So whilst I may not agree with all the theories of why they think it's done and how their approach and all that sort of stuff, I'm appreciative that there's at least somebody out there fighting for our right to, be able to be in control of our own family's health rather than the government dictating it to us. Okay, so let's see. Tracy Norwood asks, with the opening of the pubs, will churches also be open? I don't know. I guess we got to just keep putting pressure on people. I think the more people that wake up, the more people that wake up to what's going on, the more pressure, the more worried politicians will get, because they're kind of just in it for themselves at the end of the day to make sure they get in. So if they know that there's a lot of discontent out there, they won't keep drawing out and delaying this lockdown. But if you start speaking out against it, if you stop buying into the whole you know, scamdemic of them just making you fearmonger over something that is not as deadly as the seasonal. It's just, you know, maybe a little bit more deadly than the seasonal flu, and I suppose there's still evidence coming out. Then they're going to change their policies. They're going to do something different because they're just trying to keep everyone happy. As long as everyone's demanding to be locked down, they'll keep doing it. So I think pubs and clubs are opening up in June, but I don't think places of worship are still at 10 people. So I don't know how long it'll be before they open up. But that's obviously the main one I don't like, because I think I actually didn't really look into much of this until all this happened, but there's a few rights that are actually protected in the Constitution of Australia, and one of them is actually the right to exercise of religion. So, you know, with this lockdown saying, you know, people can't meet in churches, they can't gather for worship, is an absolute infringement on the highest law in the land, which is the Australian Constitution. Let's see, when it comes, just read some more of these comments. Thanks guys for the comments. Hopefully you guys, or some of you guys, will be out here next week when there's actually a protest going on. So that's 12 p.m, 30th of May, and there is actually going to be speeches and whatnot. Michael Sims is organising that one. I don't know who else will be speaking, but he did actually ask me to say a few words, so I will say some words there too. There is a guy here. Let me just scroll through these comments. Are you guys enjoying the interviews? Do you like me talking? Hey, hello. Hey, that's somebody I know actually. So if you guys are enjoying the interviews, maybe I will go and talk to a few more people and ask them some questions about those views. What do you guys think? Do you guys want me to talk to a couple more people here? Just give me a shout out in the comments below. And I'm trying to look at your comments as well as I'm talking to them. So if you make a comment or a question when I'm talking to somebody, hello, I can ask them, because there's a guy here, I don't know who he is, but I'm always concerned about getting somebody to speak on the live chat and then they start going off on something maybe I don't either agree with or understand. But hey, you know what? Gives me a chance to learn a bit more about their views and why they feel passionate about what they do, and I can ask some questions and we can test to see, you know, whether their view is sound. But I was saying there's a guy here somewhere. I don't know where he went. Let me see if I can go find him. Hello. There's a guy here somewhere that is in a jiu-jitsu outfit, and I think he's quite a character online. He's reached out to me before online, so I'll see if I can find him and see if he wants to have a bit of a chat. I don't know if the purple belt is legit, but he's here in a jiu-jitsu gi. And hey, hello, thanks. He is where is he? There he is. I'll show you here. All right, cool. Yep. So a lot of people in the comments saying they want to hear from other people, so I will go and talk to some other people. I was thinking maybe once this lockdown is over, that's what I could use this channel for. Maybe I'll just go visit some of the protests and do a bit of what Avi Yemeni does. I think that's kind of cool. All right, so this guy's in a gi outfit and he's got a purple belt on. I don't know if he wants to walk and talk with me. Oh, it looks like they're getting interviewed by people here. Let's go.
There's a lot of us, and only a few of them. Exactly, and we have so much more power in them because we have the power of love in our hearts, man. You know they have
All right, yeah, love is definitely a powerful force. The problem is people define love differently, so obviously my understanding of love will be very different to somebody else who just defines it their own way. But, you know, love definitely is a good thing. There's obviously debate about what true love actually is, what it actually means. So people are quite stretched out. They're stretched out pretty much from this bus stop all the way to the other bus stop. I don't know if the picture is actually better on this phone. Because of these live streams, I actually went out and upgraded my phone, because the last time I bought a phone was about 5+ years ago. I got the 6 Plus, so I thought, okay, I'll get the iPhone SE. So that's kind of like the phone for the Apple fanboys like myself. and old fuddy-duddies and just want a phone that's a little bit quicker and not too fussed about all the fanciest technology. And I actually prefer Touch ID to Face ID. You know, you can open your phone without it having to be pointing at your face. Okay, some people talking over here. Hello. I have something. You want to be on the live stream? No? Oh, okay. I made this for you. Oh, there you go. Oh, what is it? I just okay, there you go. I represent. All right, giving some headbands out to some of the ambassadors of the movement. See, I wanted to talk to that guy that's in the jiu-jitsu outfit, but it looks like he's actually more popular than me. Look, I've got nobody. Nobody wants to talk to me. I'm on my own. I'll go find somebody else now. See if do you want to be on the live stream? Yes. So. You told me. I remember you told me one week when we were talking. I don't know if you want to tell everyone about this. Do you want to give them your name or no?
Oh, my name's Vincent.
Vincent. Oh, it's a great first letter. You know, Victor, Vincent. People always call me Vincent. Did people ever call you Victor?
No. Oh, maybe a few times.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. I have a feeling Victors always get called Vincents, but maybe Vincents don't get called Victor. But I've been called Vincent my whole life. People get my name wrong.
What do you think of the lessening police presence every week?
Well, I think the question was, what do I think of the lessening police presence every week? Well, I think they've learned their lesson in terms of they know that if they come down hard, it just fans people's frustrations against the police. So I think they've done the smart move now.
Totally backfired when they arrested people because it, went on the media, and then the head of the police said, "Oh, they did a good job for arresting them."
That probably made people
it just
more
made
upset.
them look bad, and then people saw that in the media and thought, that wasn't good treatment of, somebody just walking around, and then more and more people came. So it was good for the cause.
Absolutely.
They probably helped the cause more than anything else.
I know. I guess I couldn't have planned it better myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it backfired on them, and I think it realised it makes people more upset than actually scares them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is raining today, so it is a little bit colder out here. That's why I'm in my winter exercise gear. But so I mean, what were your thoughts when you saw the video come out? Because were you there that day?
That week. I saw that video, and that's how I found out about it. So due to that
so
video is the reason why I'm here. Because I wouldn't have found out any other way. Because I was looking up protests, because there's been protests all around the world, and I was looking for in Sydney, and there was one in Melbourne, and then I saw that news report of that woman getting arrested here, and that's how I found out about it. So if it wasn't for the police, I wouldn't be here today. So.
Now I remember you telling me that you went to court for something. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
or is that private?
Well, in terms of just this issue, another reason why I'm here, I was near my house. I've been doing some painting and renovations. My house is really messy. So I went out to get some food for lunch just down to the shops, and I bought like a sandwich or something, and I was eating it sitting on a fence away from anyone in a back alley, and the police came and they were walking around. I was thinking they might be just getting some food, and anyway, they walked around the block and they walked up to me and they said, "Where do you live?" straight away. And I didn't tell them. I just said, "What does it matter?" Like, I was just sitting eating my lunch. The policeman comes up and asks you, "Where do you live?" when you're just eating your lunch. And then they asked my ID, and I said, "Well, am I committing a crime? Am I doing anything wrong?" And they said, "Oh, we think you're breaking the new public health
order.
Health Act."
Probably doesn't help that you're like a single white male as well.
And I said, "No, I'm just eating my lunch." And then they're like, "Oh, you have to go home." And I was just eating my lunch. So I stood up and walked, 10 minutes up the road and ate my lunch standing up, sort of walking around.
Yeah.
Then the police came around the block again, and they came straight up to me and they said, "Yeah, you're breaking the laws now. You have to give us your ID, or we're going to arrest you." And
so you got the give me your ID or
So they took my ID, and then they wrote it down. They said, "We're giving you an official warning now for I don't know, whatever rules I broke for eating my lunch outside. And so yeah, that was a couple of weeks back, and that to me that's pretty offensive. I was just outside trying to get some sun, sitting outside away from anyone, eating a sandwich, and the police come and accost you.
So is this what made you so upset with the lockdowns, or were you against them beforehand, or did this sort of wake you up and go, this is ridiculous?
No, I mean, I didn't think it would happen to me, but that was just another thing, another reason why to be here is you couldn't even sit outside and eat your lunch outside away from anyone. And that's not really the country we should live in. We should be able to make the choice. And everyone should be able to make the choice. If people are worried about going out because it's dangerous, and I mean going out is dangerous. You could get hit by a car. A car could come and
life
run
has
into us
risks, isn't it?
now. There's risks in everything you do, and if
you might get dragged away by a cop just for walking down the road. I mean, that's risky too.
And if you drive your car, there's a risk you might die. Anything there's a risk, and it's up for you to make that choice whether you're going to take that risk, whether it's worth it for you.
Yeah.
And rather than the government saying, no, you have to stay at home, it should be up to us.
Yeah,
it should be up to us. And
you
even
should be able to determine your own level of risk. You're not hurting anybody else, obviously.
Yeah, right. And even with the laws now, well, we're banned from going overseas. Does the government really have?
Well, they only just opened up even just the state borders recently, right? Or is that
I'm not sure.
Coming up in June, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But to me, it sounds totally illegal that they can ban us from leaving our country. I mean, that's the only thing that's what happens when you're in the USSR, 50 years ago, or these communist countries, they ban you from leaving the country. And I don't believe the government really has any right to say we can't leave. They might have a right to say if we come back, we have to pass some checks, see if we're sick or whatever. And if we're not sick, then just let us go. So,
I guess they put all these measures in to fight the criminals, but just beware, one day the government might deem you the criminal. Then that's when it gets used against you.
If you're outside eating your lunch, away from anyone, you might be considered a criminal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So do you know anyone personally that's affected, like how has the lockdown affected your life? Besides being harassed for just eating your lunch out.
I want to go overseas, and I can't go overseas now. So, and I think it's terrible about just all the restaurants and the people put out of work. Do you
know a lot of people that
I've known some students that were here and they had to leave the country and go back home because all the restaurants were closed. A lot of students come here and they work in restaurants.
Oh, and they study at the same time.
Yeah, they
that's
study
true.
And they use that to support their living costs, their rent. So suddenly they don't have a job in the restaurants. They can't pay their rent.
Yeah.
They can't pay their visa. They can't pay their student fees, and they have to leave the country. So suddenly that creates, thousands or tens of thousands of people leaving the country that can't live here anymore.
Yeah.
And that affects the real estate market because suddenly you've got 10,000 people going home. Mm-hmm. Not only that, you don't have the tourists coming here, so that also affects the rental market. It really has all effects on.
There's a chain reaction in the economy that people don't realize. Hey, like when you just lock down and say, hey, everyone just stay safe. People don't realize that the economy. There's so many links and chain reactions that happen. You take down one thing and then it destroys everything. Well, it can have a huge effect.
Students coming to Australia is the third biggest earner for Australia. That's the third biggest. The fifth biggest is tourism. So now both of those sections of the economy are totally shut off.
Right.
You can't just remove two of the main pillars of the economy and expect not a lot of huge problems to follow. I mean, people put out of work. When people put out of work, they become depressed. They've got bills to pay and they don't have a job. What are they supposed to do? A lot of people don't have enough money for the next coming month, and then they lose their job.
That's why socialism just doesn't work because there's no bureaucrat or group of bureaucrats smart enough to know all the decisions to make that independent and individual business owners can make and make all the connections and relationships they need. Anybody that supports communism and socialism just really doesn't understand economics.
Yeah. An example is this new law about 10 people in a restaurant. So where did they come up with 10 people? What happens if your restaurant is huge? Or what happens if your restaurant is very small? Where did they come up with this number of 10? How did they decide this was a good number. I think they just randomly came up with this. Oh, 10 sounds
like who decided 10 was the number, 50. Who decided what business is essential or not?
Yeah. So
you know,
really,
like,
it should be up to us to decide if we are worried that we're going to catch some disease, we could stay home, or if we're not worried, we can go to the restaurant. You know, we should be able to support our local businesses, but the government's forcing us to, not be able to support our local businesses.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I might leave it there. Rotate my phone. Yeah, thanks for talking to me, Vincent.
Yeah,
I'll let you go. All right. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. Like, I had a conversation with... If you haven't watched the video between me and Avi Yemeni, he brings up some really interesting objections that, thank God I was able to answer them in the interview. But one thing he brings up is, what if the death rate was 50%? Would you then think that it's justified for the government to just lock down and take away people's liberties en masse and lock down healthy people? And I said, absolutely not. It doesn't matter what the death rate is. I mean, something could have 100% kill rate. But you decide whether or not you want to risk going out to do whatever you need to do. Because somebody might say, hey, look, if I catch this, there's a 90% kill rate. But they're willing to take that risk to provide for their family. They're willing to go out and get some food. You may decide, for whatever reason, you need to go out to take that risk, and you should be allowed to decide that. The government shouldn't be allowed to decide that for you. So I think if you're wondering about the argument of, what if the mortality rate was higher, that doesn't change the principle of liberty and personal responsibility, that you decide what level of risk you take. The government doesn't get to decide that for you, because once the government decides that for you, that's when you get tyranny. That's when you get your liberties stripped from you. Because how do you know, like, first of all, who gets to make that decision? And second of all, what if it's a complete hoax? What if it's, like, in this instance, it might not be a hoax, but what if they got it wrong? And now your life and your business is destroyed, your liberties are taken away for what? And I don't know about you, but I don't trust the people in charge enough to let them make that decision for me on when I can be free or not. I would rather make that decision myself, because you would be very naive to think that government and politicians don't have agendas. I'm going to talk to you because you are. Is that all right? Can I?
It'd be my pleasure, man. We're going to do the double live stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she's live streaming for you.
Definitely.
I know you do live streams yourself, so you're probably comfortable in front of a camera, aren't
man.
you?
Definitely.
So you're here. Looks like your sign is protest. I read your post. You had a post about. I might just switch this around so you guys can read it.
Yeah.
So there was another guy before holding a similar sign. This is the guy I was telling you about. That's wearing a jiu-jitsu outfit. I saw your sign. So do you run a jiu-jitsu school? Is that?
No, I train. And I'm a coach at my professor's school. Shout out to FT Jiu-Jitsu. Much love to everybody.
Where's that located? Are you local?
Out west, near Fairfield.
So you're out that way as well.
Yeah,
I'm
out
out towards Maryland. Yeah, I'm out towards Liverpool.
Yeah,
so
nice.
that purple belt is legit. That's not
That's
just a
legit.
costume.
I couldn't walk around the street wearing this if I didn't earn it.
Oh, right.
I was talking to your little boy. He said he trains jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah. I do. That's why my kids.
Well?
My kids do jiu-jitsu and soccer, but because of the lockdown, it's all stopped.
Yeah.
And I was just about to get into it. I had my gi, and I was going to take my first class, and then that's when all the gyms closed, and I was like, I just worked up the courage to get into it. But so that's actually a legit outfit. See, I'm just in a costume. I'm just pretending to be.
No, man, you are exercising. I've got to say, so much respect to you, brother, for real.
All right, thanks,
we really
man.
appreciate what you're doing, man.
Oh, and, thanks a lot.
A lot of people, don't have the guts to come out, but they feel the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what we're doing is really building towards something good for the people.
That's it, and I think I appreciate you saying that, because that's what it really was all about. Because I was telling Meryl this morning. When this lockdown happened, we knew that there would be huge impacts and a lot of people disagreed. But then I wondered, for the first month, nobody was saying anything. There was no protest, there was no opposition. I think at the beginning, everyone was a little concerned, are we wrong? Will I come off as not caring? So I think maybe everyone was doing their research. And then, so when I decided, this is an absolute scam.
Yeah.
Let's start speaking out, and then hopefully it'll inspire others. Do you want to keep... Or we just keep turning around
and
walking?
Keep doing laps.
So do you want to give the people your name? And so is that mainly what you're upset about with the lockdown? Is that, I guess, businesses like the jiu-jitsu what are they called? Are they called the jiu-jitsu gyms?
Gym, dojo, school, same thing.
So do you know a lot of jiu-jitsu professors that haven't been affected?
I do.
Yeah.
I have two of my warriors as well. I am the general of the Save the World Army, Smoking Joe McHale. Much like yourself, I'm an activist.
Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah.
but
thought my reputation
tell us
preceded
about the jiu-jitsu dojos first.
Two of my boys, Professor Cabellos and Coach Johnny, we're about to open up new schools, and of course you're not going to be able to start any type of business. You're not going to be able to get a lease. You're not going to be able to try and build a foundation with everything up in the air and everything being illegal. My previous school, Gracie Baja, all the gyms around the world are closed, and it's the same thing everywhere. It's a real shame because jiu-jitsu is such a good sport, people learning how to defend themselves, being healthy. It's such a great support network, people being kind to each other, and the government has taken that away from us. And they
So what do you think the sentiment is in the jiu-jitsu community? Do you feel like most people are kind of like, oh, this is a scam, like what's going on, when it can be, or do you think most of them are, have bought into it, oh, we have to stay home and we're doing a good thing and all that sort of stuff?
Much like the rest of the community, it's pretty split,
right?
As you can imagine. Some people are totally agreeing with the crazy government nonsense, afraid of, a cough or a sneeze or a sniffle. But there are other people, especially in the United States, shout out to Professor Tom DeBlas and other professors in California who are defying the lockdown and opening their schools.
Right, I saw the Nick Patterson as well.
I didn't see
Victoria. I think he runs an MMA gym and they tried to shut him down as well and he defied it and sort of stood his ground.
That's awesome.
So I don't know about him either.
Like the sign says, we're under martial law, and this is time for the martial artists to step up because we train every day to defend ourselves and to defend those who are weaker than us and who can't defend themselves. And the situation now is really terrible because the government are locking down the people, bringing about unprecedented tyranny, and also, this is just the beginning. They are going to be pushing for mandatory vaccines. We're already building towards that. Microchips. And the thing is, we've had enough. A lot of people don't want to fight. A lot of people don't want to do anything. They'd rather sit on the couch and watch Netflix for like 14 hours a day. But we have the courage to stand up because we recognize that we have the real ability to do something positive by exercising our rights. And like you say every day, Victor, rights are like muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them.
It was kind of a play on, people know, because most people would think, they'd say it the other way, right? They'd say rights are like muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them. But I'm saying, well, the focus is on the exercising. That's the sort of reason I have. That's why I switched it around.
Or maybe
rights, muscles are like rights. Version. Yeah. So that's why I tried to focus.
Phrase there,
I tried to focus on it's about the muscles, right? And like it happened to be like rights, whereas most people use it the other way around. So how long did it take you to get your purple belt? I mean, obviously this is not about jiu-jitsu, but I take a bit of an interest in jiu-jitsu.
It's about 5 years, man.
5 years.
Yeah, but that's training.
Okay, so purple is the one after blue, isn't it?
Yes, it goes white, blue, purple.
However,
blue, purple.
Joel was living in the studio.
It becomes a bit like that, doesn't it? It becomes like a little family.
It does, man. It's such a good environment, like good vibes to see the guys every day. And, you're working on your health. Everyone's smiling, like I always say. Good vibes save lives. For real.
Yeah, I like that, and it sounds good too. So what is this? The Save the World Army.
So the Save the World Army.
You're the general. Is this like an army that you've created? And
yeah,
it's
definitely.
Like,
here's one of my warriors. In fact, this is the captain of our Australian Legion, Save the World
Warrior
8888 Xena. She came all the way from the Central Coast to support us today.
Oh, okay. So I guess that's just an activist group. What do they stand for? Like, what's their main purpose?
We stand against the criminal government who are poisoning, assaulting, murdering, raping, kidnapping, torturing, enslaving people all around the world through the chemtrails, the fluoride, the GMOs, the police state, the wars that continue, the 5G towers that are cooking the people as we speak. We are doing our best using completely peaceful methods to beat the Illuminati, break the New World Order, bring down the world government, and save the world from evil.
Right. So are you like an anarchist? Like, would you be considered an anarchist? Are you guys completely against government, or do you believe that government has a place?
Now, I can't speak for all of the Save the World Warriors on this instance because we all have different beliefs. It's not about controlling the way people think. But personally, I'm an anarchist. I want no masters, no rulers, no government. Taxation is theft. Government is slavery. If you break down the word in Latin, it's govern, which is control, and ment, which is mind, so it's mental slavery. And Bob Marley said, you must emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And what they're pushing...
Right. So that's what there's a lot of things that you guys are against, and you come, I guess there's a few different issues that are, I guess, talked about in the group.
Yeah,
and what you've just sort of used the moniker of an army, and you're, so the general is kind of like just the president of that organization. Is it actually an official organization?
It's an official organization.
Like, is it registered and all that
Well,
sort of
it's
stuff?
not registered. We don't want anything to do with the government.
Yeah, okay, yep. So
But
it's...
Today is day 1350 of Operation Save the World. I stream live every day on Facebook, much like yourself. I'm doing 2 times a day now.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's a lot more than I do.
It's all right.
I'm once a week on Saturdays.
I got no job, so it's all good. I do my best to break down what's happening because the government are, once again, poisoning every aspect of our environment, pushing so much propaganda. They want to have a complete police state over the people. You can see the digital controls coming in everywhere. Bill Gates bringing in the new vaccine with digital tattoos in them. The world that's going to be left for the future generations is going to be...
And how big is this Save the World Army?
We have more than 1,300 Save the World warriors all over the world.
All around the world. So it's global.
It's global. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say global, but we're all around the world.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe I won't go there.
Yeah, we won't go there today. But
you might say it's plainal.
Plainal. Oh my God.
I'm not going to go there.
Let me just say one more thing. I've got a lot of respect for Victor and a lot of love for Victor, and we're all in this together. And I just want to send my love to the people out there. And come to Hyde Park next Saturday at 1200. And also you're going to be here at
I'm going to be here as well. Yeah,
cool.
Well, I'll be there at 12 o'clock as well.
Yeah.
This is the protest next week, so I'll be there too.
For real. The thing is, the people have the power. The government wants everyone sitting at home, afraid of everything. We have no fear. Love is the antidote to fear, and we've got to rise above and spread the love like my man Victor's doing.
Yeah, well, so somebody here in the comments asking, can you ask him for his Facebook page name, please? Is it just the Save the World Army?
Yeah, it's the Save the World Army. Check us out.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll flip it around. There you go.
I appreciate that. We're on.
There you go. Go check it out. You can learn a little bit about. I honestly don't know much about it, but hey, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, go check it out.
Yeah. I want to say thanks again to you, man.
All right. Thanks for coming out, and it's nice to meet you. Oh, there you go.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
Not really, it's exercise.
Okay, I'll keep going. Looks like there's a little group that's formed behind me. Oh, what is the time? How do I check the time while I'm live streaming? I don't know how to check the time. All right, guys. I think. What else would you guys like to know? So, a lot of interesting characters out there. So it's good that he's actually a legit jiu-jitsu purple belt. The purple belts are pretty badass. We got people beeping at us and agreeing with us. There's a car that's just stopped here. I don't know what they're doing. Hello. Oh, they're picking up people. So I think people are starting to leave now. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I mean, I'm definitely, obviously I have different views to a lot of the people here, but what we all have in common here is we're against government tyranny. We're against government controlling our lives the way they're trying to. So I think it's good that people are out here speaking against it and inspiring others to action, because at least we can all agree on liberty, and government's role in our lives. So I hope you guys enjoyed tagging along with me today. I'll do the same thing next week, maybe at the protest, and I'll be able to talk to more people if you guys like this, and meet some of the people out here and see what they're against and how they feel about things. So thanks for joining me, guys, and always remember, muscles are like rights. If you don't use them, you lose them. See you later.